from his days here at New Pal. Indiana State 8-1 in the Missouri Valley, receiving votes in the national top 25, and RPI has them in the top 30. They are playing at Purdue as we speak.
Yeah, they split basically. It wasn't a back-to-back series, but it was a home and away with IU, and they were able to beat Purdue. And I think you were on the call for that.
I was.
ESPN Plus, and then again, and the teams they played in the Big Ten, they more than competed with.
So Nunnally, who doubled last time up, hit one of the base of the wall in left field. Curve ball just got the corner of the plate. 0-1 the count.
A little action there in the New Palestine bullpen lefty. I'm trying to get a number for you, Greg.
Nunnally watches that one go by and it misses. Count it 1-1. Smacks this one, but center fielder was there. Well hit ball, but well played from a scouting standpoint by Furnish, and there's one down. Well, Nunnally has made solid contact both times, but will this time make the left turn towards the home dugout. Here's Camp, who struck out to end the threat in the bottom half of the first. This one swerves away from the zone. 1-0 the count. Got two more great weather days forecast this week. Saw some rain starting to creep into the forecast on Friday, and Saturday didn't look all that great. There's a good look at the bullpen. That's Nolan Cox that is loosening in the pen.
And even
so
Friday,
the count now 2-1.
I was going to say, even Friday, though, they're still saying it's spotty.
Yep.
May hit you, may not. So,
and given the fact that we're playing here on turf,
yes,
in terms of softball, I like our chances for some Friday night action here on 9-Star and ISC. That goes by. 2-2 the count. Camp had the luxury at 2-1 of waiting for his pitch. That wasn't it. Now he'll offer. Second baseman lines it up. Camp hustling down the line and made it close, but it's tough to beat the throw from Johnson from that close, and there's two down.
Did a nice job of staying back on the curveball. It just didn't square it up.
So here's Morris. Morris drew a 4-pitch walk his first time up. And good job by Camp. And Camp as the DH, you've got one chance to impress. Or you better be hustling out every play. That one, I'm not sure the third baseman or shortstop would have had to play anyway, but and that time's kind of the first time a hop benefited the Dragons, as that one skedaddled on into left field. So New Pal has had a base runner on every inning. That's their third base hit of the game. But all of their hits have come with nobody on and two out.
Yeah, and those two double plays were huge for Yorktown, and they're going to – oh, okay, I thought for a second they were going to walk him for – intentionally, but the umpire said, nope, go get the bat.
Well, Cox had to start loosening up because he's the batter on deck. So Mathis is ready. Mathis hit into a double play last time up. And Temple thinking with 2 outs, Morris might be on the move to get a runner to scoring position. This one got through the wickets. It'll be a free 90 feet. I would put that in the pass ball category, you?
I'd have to take another look at it. I mean, it was low. The ball was in the dirt. Now, could he have blocked it? Should he have blocked it? Probably. Yeah, he probably should have blocked that. Good job by Mathis of communicating to the runner, signaling him to go.
Late decision to swing and couldn't time it out. And the count at 1-1. Got the edge of the corner. Well, that's one thing that Temple's kind of able to do with that off-speed pitch that Nunnally has not, and that's kind of find exactly where that outside corner is.
Yep.
And Temple once again a pitch away from putting a 0 on the board. Mathis, stay alive swing, and there is ample territory down each of the right and left field foul lines. So ball fell harmlessly to the turf.
Of course, with 2 outs, Morris moving on contact, anything unless it's hit to the third baseman. Certainly don't want to run into an out, obviously, but anything hit the other way like that was, he's going to take off.
Again, just sends that one into foul territory. Spoiled a couple of pitches to get a look at least one more.
Well, as a hitter, what you're hoping is that the pitcher will just make a little bit of a mistake, because those are great pitches, great pitchers' pitches in terms of location.
Comes back with the large the same pitch, but a little more dip on that one, and Mathis swings through. And for a 4th consecutive inning, a strikeout ends it for New Pal. Through 4 in this conference matchup. The visitors in Yorktown lead at 4-0. Back in a moment on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
So Nunnally on for his 5th inning of work. Greg Rakestraw, Jim Leisure with you here on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network. Our ISC portion of our division will have more high school baseball tomorrow night. We'll head over to Danville, where Pat O'Neill's team will have a big Sagamore Conference matchup against a multi-time state champions in the Athenians of Crawfordsville. Chris Walker joins me for that one, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. There's a little bit of activity in case needed in the Yorktown pen. I think that is Landon Case who is starting to loosen. But frankly, Temple has shown no signs of tiring just yet. Temple went 5 innings in his first start of the season. He's navigated the waters through 4 without giving up a run so far. 2, 3, and 4. Fultz, Furnish, and Key, and this is where the damage has been done. All 4 runs have come from these 3 batters that are coming to the plate here.
We'll see if Dunley again can locate the fastball, and if he can, he's obviously going to improve his chances of getting through this without giving up more damage.
So Fultz has reached twice. Fielder's choice in the first and scored, singled, stole a base and scored in the third. Last time he lined one right back up the middle.
Greg, I was never a pitcher other than, rec league stuff, but I can't imagine it's fun to throw when you just can't control the fastball.
Turns on this one. That will get down for a base hit. Right fielder does a great job of hustling over. Fultz makes a wide turn, but wisely stops. That was a single that could have been more than that. But the leadoff man is aboard for a 4th time in 5 innings for Yorktown, and that's really the story of the game. All the hits for New Pal have come with 2 outs and nobody on. And Yorktown has made Nunnally pitch from the stretch pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, we saw Braden Morrow's arm earlier, and I saw the runner kind of break for a little bit. And I thought, son, you don't want to do that. He'll throw you out from me to you.
Furnish struck out looking last time. Toss back, and not that far off the bag was Fultz.
And I know I mentioned it a few times, but Fultz does have, I think, 5 stolen bases on the season.
Furnish singled and scored back in the first. Nunnally's convinced he's going.
Correction, he has 2. It's Furnish with 5, but Fultz does have 2. And actually 3 because he got 1 in the third. Pretty much the only 2 people who haven't got a stolen base today is you and I.
And the bird. Curveball in there for a strike.
That bird got what was coming to him, though. You know what? You break a city ordinance by coming into the press box.
We had a borderline Hitchcock movie going on there for a moment.
You get what you deserve.
In one sense, you say, hey, maybe you're playing for just an extra run here just to, kind of give yourself a cushion. But at the same time, this is the group that has done the most damage.
And this is their game.
Yep.
I mean, this is what Yorktown does to score runs. So you're not going to take your foot off the gas here.
Misses high. Count it 1-1. Game's about the hour 15 mark. Case continues to loosen the pen. Fastball, belt tie, and Furnish can do anything with it. And Furnish came in hitting 400. He's not hurt that average so far today. He's 1 for 2. And these two teams will play again tomorrow at Yorktown. Yorktown going to get in one more game on Thursday, non-conference against Jay County. Team that not that long ago made the 3A semi-state. And they'll be off until Monday when they take on county rival Muncie Central. Missed high.
And that last fastball by Nunley there was, at least it was in the zone, but it was right down the middle of the plate. And again, I'm going to argue that he probably doesn't want it there. That's the kind of pitch, again, that you look for as a hitter, that mistake that's right in your wheelhouse.
Close. Nunley's throwing on the proper side of the bag. He's trying to throw into the runner on those tags. And
great camera work there. Excellent job of seeing just how close those plays really are.
One more step by Foltz, he'd have been had. Again, close. With the repeated throws back to first, what Nunley has done is made Foltz give up a little real estate in terms of his lead towards second. Runner goes. Batter swings and pops it up our general direction.
So, again, with all the throws over, Coach Fourquart says, you know what? I don't care. That's what we do. Obviously, again, if it gets to a situation where it's a 10-run lead or whatever, you probably back out of that a little bit. But 4-0 is still very much in doubt. We're going to put up as many as we can.
Runner wasn't going anywhere that time, and Nunley misses with the curveball. And the count runs full.
Of course, it's a good thing that throws to first don't count as pitch counts because Nunley would probably be close to his limit.
Now, obviously, you wouldn't see a battle like that at first base these days in Major League Baseball. You got 3 chances to get that runner. Yeah, he was leaning, but got back in time. He's not far enough off where you almost have to literally stumble at this point.
And those are premium moves, too, by the pitcher. Sometimes the pitcher will kind of step off and just kind of halfway toss it over there. It wasn't even really an attempt. These are all legitimate attempts to pick them off.
Swing and a miss. Good battle. It's one by Nunley, 1 down. It's the second time that Furnish has gone down by way of a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 so far for Nunley. And in his first appearance of the season, he walked 1 and struck out 10.
Number 2, J.C. Key.
So here's Key. Singleton scored last time up. And Tails inside, 1-0 the count. And the activity has stopped in the bullpen for Yorktown. And Case is a couple of spots away from coming to the plate. Again, I think that was just insurance if needed more than anything else.
Well, it's what you got to do at the high school level when oftentimes the guy that's coming in next is already on the field. You got to get down there when he can and just get loose.
Mathis kept it in front of him, but got far enough away where Foltz could Scamper on down to second on the wild pitch.
And again, as well as Yorktown runs the bases here, Foltz at first base is watching the trajectory of that pitch, and he's seeing it's going to be short. He's already taken a couple extra hops on the secondary lead, and then once it gets away, it's over. Just go. In those situations, if the catcher does come out of that thing and go up the third base line and somehow pick it up and throw you out, then he's playing in the wrong league.
Taken all the way was Key, and that's ball 4. That is the first walk issued by Nunnally today. Did hit a batter earlier. Runners at first and second and one down. Here's Grimm. 2-run RBI single back in the first. Fly ball to right his last time up. In for a strike. Looking ahead for New Pal. 7, 8, and 9 due up in the home half of the fifth inning.
It does appear that Nunnally is starting to find the fastball a little bit here.
That one low and away. 1-1 the count.
And, again, when a pitcher can establish the fastball and the curveball both, he becomes very, very difficult to hit.
Well, that one straight back, 1-2.
Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan with 7 career no-hitters said that in all 7 of his no-hitters, it was because his breaking ball was really, really on. He always had the gas, but when now you got both pitches, man, you're unhittable. And his curveball's been pretty good.
Fastball. Slow roller. Get the runner at third. Throw to first. Not in time. Yep. Hustling on the line was Grimm. Close play, but I believe the umpire made the right call on that one. There's 2 down.
Well, again, everything about this is right here. Again, the third baseman, Morris, is going to take the ball where it's hit to you. It's hit to his right. I'm going to go right. I'm going to step across the diamond. And, again, really, really close.
I thought it was a situation where it was literally the simultaneous, the catch of the ball and the step it on the bag. And, again, Key will have a pinch runner for him in Isaacs. And let's see if this is going to be it for Nunnally through 4 2/3 innings, or this is just more of a conversation here. It's the second mound visit, but not the second of the inning.
Correct. High school rules a little bit different, obviously, than major league rules in terms of, as long as you don't make 2 in 1 inning, you can make 2. Now, the third one, he has to go.
Right.
In the big leagues, I think I'm pretty sure 2 and you're done.
So it's Isaacs at second, Grimm at first base, and Thurman, who singled and got an RBI his last time up. A single of the infield variety. Thurman, a senior, listed as a pitcher and outfielder on the Yorktown roster. The RBI, his third of the year. Fastball outside corner, got it. 0-1 the count. Thurman struck out looking to end the first. New Pal trying to keep this one within shouting distance. One misses high, 1-1 the count. Chased one that time, did Thurman. Coming off the high fastball and kind of 1-2.
Well, when guys will swing at that, the next day, especially when the count's in your favor for a pitcher, just throw it a little higher. Just keep climbing that ladder, see if he'll swing it.
Pops him up, but that will exit the facility, and we'll do it again.
Pretty good camera work there. I'm not sure if it hit that black vehicle out there or not, but it was awful close.
Eight base hits so far for Yorktown. Thurman lays off of that one, 2-2. Fulcher this inning became the first Yorktown player with 2 base hits in today's game.
And as you can see, it did not hit the car, but folks, if you're watching at home, don't park there.
Came awfully close. Turned on this one, but that will be well foul.
I generally park so far away, Greg. I've actually had my car towed twice because they thought it was an abandoned vehicle. And it was just like, on the other side of the parking lot.
You got your steps in that way. That's good for you.
And I'm all about fitness. I always have been.
You got one of your high school football coaches that is begging to differ off microphone.
He knew me when I was skinny, though.
Count it 2-2. Got him. Second time that Thurman's been retired on that outside corner fastball, and the inning is over. So a 0 goes on the board for Yorktown, and again, Newpal got some work to do, but still hanging around as it is now 4-0 through 4.5. So second time that Thurman has been struck out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 5 in total, thrown by Nunnally today. And he has worked around 8 hits. He has walked 1. He has hit a batter as well, and Temple is back on for his 5th inning of work for the Tigers.
Well, I'm sure if you asked Nunnally, he would tell you that he has not been sharp, but he has kept him in it. He's battled. He's worked through a lot of base runners, and he has kept him in it. So we'll see if the Dragon Bats can finally reach Cole Temple, who's pitching really well.
And Temple's first outing of the season, went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs. So Cox, Thorpe, Morrow. The trio of batters due up for Newpal. Good crowd on hand today, as you would expect, given the caliber of weather that we've had today and the forecast as well.
And Greg, if Cox gets on, it would not surprise me if Coach Lyons went on ahead and had somebody pinch run for him and then maybe have him go down and throw a little bit more. You don't want him standing out there on those bases and basically getting cold. And
Cox a double his first time up. That was the ball that Furnish turned on immediately in center Newton. It was past him. See, one hop the center field wall did Cox his first time up. Temple has thrown a couple of off-speed pitches above the letters in this at bat, and the count is at 2-0.
I'm sure Temple remembers that pitch, as does the catcher. In Jace Key, I'm sure they're saying, well, I'll tell you what you're not going to see is that pitch again.
Well, Cox thought he had it because he took a pretty good rip at it and missed it. 2-1 the count. Three and 1. Well, one thing that Newpal has done one time today, get the leadoff runner aboard. And that runner was summarily doubled off the next batter up. But that is a leadoff walk.
And it does look like Coach Lyons is going to go to his bench here.
So Temple, second walk he has issued. Cox right now the left fielder, but again, he could be the pitcher of record going to the 6th inning. So coming in to run Gavin Neal is who that is listed in the program, but you and I noticed a little bit of differences in numbers in terms of what was on the lineup card and what was in the program.
Yeah,
so Rig Muhurin is who is listed as 15 on the lineup card today.
And we were talking about max preps. The numbers are correct in max preps. These are the numbers that were on the lineup card. But the rosters we got, there's 3 or 4 that are different.
So Muhurin down at first base. So here's Thorpe. Struck out his first time up. Foul ball off the hands.
Greg, a friend of mine, has just been kind enough to text me the pitch count rule, and they've added to it. As in every sport, the National Federation of High School, they get together every year and they tweak rules if they need to. There's actually a rule that applies to the first 30 days of the season and then the second 30 days of the season. I know when that rule was first in effect, it was just across the board. They've obviously felt that, and rightfully so, that arms earlier in the year are a little less ready to be taxed.
Sure. So 2 strikes. Morrow waits on deck for Newpal. Missed it high. For 2 strikes, that's all a lot of the plate, but it was a little elevated. And as expected, Cox is warming up in earnest for Newpal. You would think it's probably him in the top of the 6th.
I think if you take him out of the ballgame, it is. You know what? If it wasn't one of those deals where, you know, you weren't sure if you're going to use him or not, maybe you leave him out, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just maybe you tell the coach, hey, if I get on, if you got somebody, I'd like to get down there and get loose.
Turning on this one and falling for a base hit. So give Thorpe his first base hit of the season. And you've got runners on first and second with nobody out.
And I'll tell you what, Foltz out in left field does a nice job of bare-handing this thing because it took a nasty hop. He was in front of it. Easy play, right? And then the ball just kind of bounced to his left. And he just reached out with his bare hand and caught it.
So Morrow now to the plate. Morrow was hit by a pitch his previous plate appearance. And again, Case had been loosening last inning for Yorktown. He's the first baseman. So they have to make a move. You'd think he would be ready. That misses. They'll throw behind the runner at second. He got back in time. As Morrow was showing bunt, but let that one go by for a ball. Again, shows bunt. Puts it down, foul ball. And the count at 1-1.
And it's where the ball is touched. And the ball was touched by the catcher. It was still behind home plate, which is in foul territory.
Again, shows bunt. That misses high. 2-1. And important to note, third baseman, because the runner's at first and second, third baseman is staying put. He's going to hang by third. So if you're Morrow, your thought has to be to get this one to the third base side of the pitcher. Pulls the bat back and swings. Key gives chase and lands right in front of us.
Just over the screen and
2 strikes.
about 90% sure, 95% sure takes the bunt off. I've seen, obviously, as you have too, coaches go ahead and put it on.
Foul ball. Got him in the batter's box.
Almost the result of the swinging bunt that you hear about all the time. The ball that you take a nice big cut at and you top it and it only goes about 6 feet.
Count now 2-2. Missed it off the corner. Full count.
And regardless of what happens to this at bat, Braden Morrow's had a really good at bat. He's been able to, because when you're squaring the bunt, you're looking to bunt, and then when you see the pitches outside, you got to pull it back. A lot going on there.
So a lengthy at bat here. This marks the end of the second trip through the lineup.
This will be the 8th pitch of this particular at bat.
Morick awaits on deck. Swing and a miss. Temple is reared back and threw a bell-tie fastball that Morrow couldn't catch up with. 6 strikeout.
So the offensive struggles continue for New Pal. Again, just the ability to execute, get those runners in scoring position. It was a good at bat. Unfortunately, it was an empty at bat.
Popped him up. Infield fly has been called. Second baseman circling it, has it. And the runner's going to be out regardless. There's 2 down. So now Ricky.
Coach Lyons reaching for his lineup card here, and Ricky has struck out twice, and so I think he is going to make a change now. Ricky will probably re-enter for whomever it is that comes in to hit.
So Gavin Neal will be asked to come in and pinch hit here. Neal, a freshman.
Pitching for the Dragons, number 43, Gavin Neal.
This will be his 13th plate appearance, 11 official at-bats. He is 3 of 11, 273, so he can hit a little bit.
When chasing on that one. And swings and misses.
Cole Temple says, look, you're a freshman, I'm a senior. I've done this a lot more than you have. Watch this.
Smacks this one. Second baseman's got it. Steps and fires over to first, and the inning is over. And the leadoff 2 runners are stranded by New Pal. So we are now through 5, and song remains the same. 4-0 Tigers. To the top of the 6th we go. Back in a moment here on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9 Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
So back to the top of the 6th we go. Greg Rakestraw, Jim Leisure with you here on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network. Case, Gibson, and Johnson, 7, 8, and 9 coming up this time through. And it is the new pitcher, we speculated this was going to be the case, that Nolan Cox will come in and replace Blaine Nunnally. So Nunnally goes 5. He allows 4 runs, 8 hits. Struck out 5. So Cox will be asked to keep this one close and go the last couple of innings. He has thrown 1 inning so far this year as Cox. In that inning, he allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, walked 3, and struck out a batter.
Nunnally will move to short.
It was Ricky that was at shortstop.
Yeah. And it's Gavin Neal, the freshman, who stays in the game.
So
in
Ricky's
left
spot
field.
just
Yep.
goes away. So Neal will stay in the lineup, and he'll bat second as Nunnally will lead things off in the next inning. So Cox gets a couple of extra warm-up tosses. In total for Nunnally, it was 24 batters faced. There's more activity in the bullpen now for Yorktown as well. It was Case that was warming up earlier. Obviously, it's not him. He is at the plate. You would think Temple would have a chance to start the sixth inning, but this is the third time through the lineup. Thanks to our cameras for showing you who is down there loosening up. That is Jacob Grimm. Grimm is the starting third baseman today that's getting a few tosses in if needed. Case is 0 for 2. Case and Johnson are the two players in the lineup so far for Yorktown that have yet to get a base hit today. Big sweeping curveball misses. Lefty versus lefty here.
And just like with Nolan Cox, I think if maybe Case gets on, we pinch run for him and then tell him to go down there and get loose.
Fastball misses. 2-0 the count. Comes back with a fastball and foul ball.
Really, really late call there by the home plate umpire. Now, I'm going to assume that he must have yelled foul ball because Case didn't leave the batter's box. To me, that was close enough that would warrant it, let everyone know so everyone can stop running.
That hit him. Yep. Turned into it, but didn't lean over the plate. So hit by a pitch for Case. And so Gibson will come to the plate, and as expected, Noah Lovell will come in for Yorktown. Let's see if Case proceeds to go directly to the bullpen or not.
Yeah, it could be a situation where you just want a faster runner, but I would think it's because he wants to get loose.
Gibson singled last time up. Was thrown out trying to steal second base. Gibson was hit by a pitch as well, so he has yet to be retired in today's game.
Adam Rickey warming up in the New Pal bullpen, so if they did decide to bring him in, they would have to re-enter him into Neal's spot.
Yep. Showing bunt is Gibson. And then sprayed that one foul.
Of course, high school baseball substitution rules quite a bit different than probably what you're used to seeing, in the major league level. If you watch a lot of Major League Baseball, when you're taken out, you're done. But starters can re-enter once, and there's courtesy runners and all kinds of fun things.
Snap toss back by the lefty. Lovell back with not much of an effort. And Gibson shows bunt, puts that one back. They snap, throw, and then throw it down the right field line. So Matthias with the throw that got away. On the error on the catcher. And there's a runner in second base, and now I think you're even more likely to potentially try to put that bunt down and move the runner over.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, when it rains, it pours because they had the runner picked off.
Yep.
He had committed in just an errant throw, so.
Gibson was going to be swinging away that time, but the ball missed the zone.
And now it looks like New Pal's got number 10, Chase Ankney, up in the bullpen as well.
Taken all the way, that's in for a strike. Had one to work with, did Gibson. And bullpen activity has ceased now for Yorktown. And Cox airmailed that one. And the count runs full.
Yeah, tried the big overhand curve, and you could just see from immediately when he left his hand, the look on his face and the body language was such that, you know what, not even close.
Fastball and missed. So now Johnson. Johnson lined one back to the pitcher his last time up. Popped up a bunt. The time before that.
And Matthias goes out to kind of calm him down just a little bit. And again, the senior, Blaine Nunley, goes up and says, hey, you know what? We got to come at this kid. He's number 9. Probably going to bunt, communicate, you know, what's going on defensively, which way we're going to rotate it. Again, common sense says you keep the third baseman home, charge the pitcher and the first baseman. Rotate it toward first.
Shadow's trying to take over the infield here. Light's been on since the very beginning. Bunt put down, diving effort, couldn't get there, and now throw down to first base. Was backed up by the second baseman, but the runner is safe. Everybody's safe.
That is really huge. Your great effort by Cox. He just couldn't get there. I mean, he is left-handed, so the glove's on that right hand, but he just couldn't get there. But how about the heads-up play to back up first base? Because that's honestly an ill-advised throw. That could have been a lot worse than it was as the Dragons pull the infield in.
Frankly, the best play that Cox would have had would have been at second because the runner at first had to hold up, but you're never thinking about throwing to second from that spot. So time is called. So bases are loaded for the first time by either team today. It's a chance for Yorktown to separate a little bit here. And as my partner notated, everybody is up. No choice here for New Pal. Thing broke late, but not in time to find the plate.
Yeah, again, I just think too much movement by the catcher. You see him, he started out and then came back down as it broke in, and the umpire was just like, I don't know what that was, but it wasn't a strike.
The Temple single to begin the game on a ground ball to third base. Hit it hard last time, but right at the center fielder. Good job by Matthias to stay in front of that one.
You know, for a pitcher just coming into the ball game, and it's always tough in these situations, but, I mean, it couldn't have been any worse for Nolan Cox. He basically hit one, walked one, and, you know, basically a little bloop hit. So you almost hate to call it that, but that's what it was.
And now the count's 3-0.
And you give it to 7, 8, and 9. I mean, those are kids that you generally would just attack and go after.
Quick check at the bullpen to ask, you ready? And Ankney says, yep. So Cox's appearance could be a brief one. It's in for a strike. Temple obviously taking all the way there at 3-0. Temple can still be awfully selective here. That got away, and everybody gets a free pass. So hustling down the line, but no further advance. That'll simply be a bases on balls and an RBI for Temple. And make it 5-0.
Ankney is done throwing. He's back in the dugout, and here comes Coach Lyons.
So Cox faced 4 batters, and that's it. So Ankney will be asked to kind of stop the bleeding here. He has thrown a third of an inning. He's given up 2 hits, 2 earned runs in his only previous plate appearance. Or pitching appearance, I should say. Faced 4 total batters. So there'll be a series of requisite field moves that will change things up here for the Dragons. But second pitcher of the inning. 4 have come to the plate. None have been retired as an out. And it's Fultz, who has singled twice and scored twice, who now will come up. So 5-0 now. This is really about giving yourself a realistic chance if you're New Pal here in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, and Coach Forquart is down there with the 3 base runners, and he's really coaching them up, telling them exactly what he wants here. He, of course, is hoping for a really big inning. Would love nothing more than to get 2 or 3 of these guys in and really bust this thing open. Coach Lyons, again, told me before the ball game that he had a relatively young squad in terms of experience. And, so they were still kind of trying to find their way. Well, I think a strong argument could be made that they're still trying to find that identity.
And that's with 3 wins and 4 games played coming into today.
Yeah. Looks like number 30, Ben Hershey, is going to go down, the junior. Get loose a little bit just in case.
So one more warm-up offering for Ankney, and we'll resume play here in the top of the 6th inning.
Now pitching for the Dragons, number 10, Chase Ankney.
So Nolan Cox has actually taken on a first baseman's glove and is going to first. Nunley's still at short. Looks like Neal's still in left.
Well, the first baseman was Thorpe, who was being hit for.
Okay.
So that's the way to kind of keep Neal in the game that way.
I see. Scorecard gets a little messy in the late innings sometimes.
Curveball, a beauty. That also mean that Ankney might have to bat in Camp's spot here coming up in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see how that plays out. Fastball does hit the outside corner. And the count is 0-2.
Fultz with 2 base hits, and Ankney's just going right at him. Infield's in. Outfield playing slight to pull.
Sprays that one foul. Ankney's thrown nothing but strikes so far. Swing and a miss. First time that Fultz has made the right turn back to the dugout. It's an important first out.
Off-speed pitch here, good location, and again, just pulled the string on it and a lot slower than Fultz anticipated, and down he goes. So, again, infield going to go back in the middle, going to try to get 2. Corner's probably still in. I can't see him. There's the first baseman.
And we've seen a couple of double plays turn today, so you know it's possible. Cox has to hold the runner on at first. So Furnish watches that one go by. Furnish singled and scored back in the first and then has struck out each of his last 2 times up. Swings through that one, and Yorktown batters yet to kind of time up Ankney in his 2 batters faced so far.
And as you stated, Nolan Cox holding on the runner at first base. A lot of times the first base will kind of play half and half there. The bases are loaded. Where's he going to go?
Big over-the-top curveball in for a strike. And the count at 1-2.
And when I say half and half, kind of.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, between the runner and the bag. And you're there if he wants to come over and throw over. But, again, realistically, he's not going to steal second.
Made contact. Ankney, bare hands, goes to home plate for 1. No other play, but are they going to say that he never stepped on the plate?
That's what they're going to say. The umpire, home plate umpire basically signaled safe and then, did the sweep to the right. I'm going to say that Matthias was not on the bag.
So again, Ankney made a great barehanded play.
Absolutely.
And then tossed it to home plate and clearly beat the runner, but have to have your foot on the plate, and obviously the home plate umpire is looking the entire time. And
see where he catches it. Where's his foot when he catches it? He's looked right. I mean, the umpire was staring at it.
So that's basically goes down as a fielder's choice. And a run scores, makes it 6-0. Here's Key. Curveball misses.
Ankney is throwing well, though. He's attacking the zone.
Key wants I want to say a new piece of lumber. It's not lumber.
Yeah, he said, you know what? I brought the wrong bat. It's kind of like bringing the wrong witness to court. Might want to make sure you got the right bat.
Says the 30-year retired officer.
Your Honor, I brought the wrong witness.
So 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third, now 2 in the sixth. One slipped out of Ankney's hands.
He says, I want my hitting bat. I forgot my hitting bat.
Smacks this one down the third base line. That's going to score at least 2. They might give the third a wave around. Ball got away from the left fielder. That'll be a bases-clearing hit. And it's now 9-0 Yorktown. And now Tigers think about getting this under the run rule and trying to put New Pal up against in the home half of the sixth.
Well, that's, again, what we talked about. Coach Farquhar was talking to his kids and saying, let's don't be stupid. Let's, freeze on a line drive. Let's don't give away outs on the bases. You're going to see, again, just kind of overran it there out in left field, did Neal. And, again, you can probably blame a little bit of the turf for just the uneven hops. But, yeah, definitely, you're going to try to score another run here, get 3 outs, and get in the bus if you're Yorktown.
This one lifted foul. This is Grimm that sprays it.
Good job of Furnish getting all the way around there and had the whole play in front of him. Saw the left fielder bobble it. Saw Coach Farquhar with his windmill action at third base, and not even a close play at the plate.
Grimm at fielder's choice his last time up. Had a 2 RBI single back in the first. He's officially 1 for 3. Sends this one into foul territory in the opposite direction. It's 2-strike count.
See if the senior Ankney can make a pitch here.
This one smacked, caught. That's double play.
Yeah, that was the aforementioned don't get doubled off, but it's a little different when you got 9 runs.
So there will not be a run rule in today's game. We will have a 7th, but first we have a bottom of the 6th. But now New Pal faces a 9-0 deficit going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. So of those runs, first 4 get charged to Cox. The last one goes against Ankney. That's as hard as Grimm's hit a ball all day. Just happening right at Nunnally, who will take the quick trot over to second base. And let's see if Temple will come back out for one more inning. That appears to be the case.
Yeah, I would definitely run him out there, especially with a 9-run lead. And he can't pitch tomorrow anyway, so you might as well see if you can get another inning out of him. Coach Lyons is going out, and I think just maybe talking to the home plate umpire, a little bit of frustration there, just saying, hey, are you sure he went on the plate? Was he close enough to the plate? Gosh, because there's something we could have done there. But, yeah, I would definitely let him throw at least another inning here.
So Nunnally, then Camp spot in the lineup, and Morris. Key taking a moment to get the gear on because he was running it was at second base in that scenario. By the way, the organist doing a great job here at New Pal.
Nancy Faust.
I was not aware that she had left her residence in the south side of Chicago to come to the south side of Hancock County.
You know, it is funny, but that is a name, especially on the south side of Chicago, that is honestly as known as any White Sox player.
You think we could get her to play a little steam for us in the seventh inning?
You know what?
Kiss it goodbye?
Yeah, I mean, she's not doing anything else. You might as well get a little effort out of her.
No one but us is laughing at that joke right now, but we are laughing hysterically.
Of course.
At knowing whom the organist was for the White Sox for 40 years.
But I'm telling you, she was a celebrity in and of herself.
Well, for many years, she was their best player.
She might have been.
Now batting number 12, Lane Nunnally.
So here's Nunnally. 1 for 2 with a double. That's in for a strike. And Temple's not exactly going to be throwing batting practice fastballs at this point, but he's going to find a lot of a plate with a 9-0 lead.
He's going to get after you.
And he has largely done that throughout the course of the game. He has walked a couple. He has struck out 6. In total, 4 base hits so far for New Pal in 5 innings. They have not gotten a runner past second in today's game, but Nunnally will have a 2-base hit evening as he sends this one to center field.
Well, I'll tell you, the man really worked hard on the mound all day. Runners on, hits, walks, different things, fielder's choices, different things that didn't go his way on the mound, but in the batter's box, he certainly earned his keep.
Here's Camp. Strike out and a ground ball to second base. Temple misses outside. In total, 8 batters to the plate that inning for Yorktown. In for a strike. This game just passed the 2-hour mark here in the home half of the 6th.
Good choice by Camp not to swing at that thing. I mean, if you do, all you're going to do is ground out.
And these two teams will play tomorrow in Yorktown.
Of course, for years, the Hoosier Heritage Conference used to play double headers on Friday nights. And there would be a big
And misses 2-1.
big spread that parents of the host school would feed the other team. And then, of course, you did it on a Friday night. So if you got rain, you could hopefully do it, a double header on Saturday. They were long nights. I mean, it was a good idea. Honestly, on paper, it sounded like a good idea. But, man, it made for some long, cold
This
nights.
is what a lot of the other conferences do, by the way,
Right.
is play your back-to-back midweekers. That will get down for a base hit. That will be extra bases. That will likely score Nunnally all the way to the wall. Camp to second. He is in turn the afterburners on, looking for 3. Throw not in time. It is a triple, and New Pal is on the board.
Well, you got two guys right there that were just absolutely not going to stop for anything. You saw Nunnally, he had the play in front of him. He knew the ball was down immediately, and he was just absolutely gone. He was scoring. Right there, he's decided, I'm scoring. And Camp decides, too, hey, I'm going 3. So certainly in games like this, you don't want to run yourself into outs, 9-0 ball games, but both of those kids were not to be denied.
So Morris steps to the plate. Infield stays back, so a ground ball would score a run here.
And as you stated earlier, again, not going to matter in terms of the run rule. Or we're playing 7 regardless, so it doesn't matter if you win 9-2 or 9-3 or 9-4. If you're Yorktown, you just need some outs.
Morris fouls that one back. Morris has reached both times today. Walked and singled.
In fact, at this point, if you're Yorktown, you would trade outs for runs.
Yep.
And then get in the bus. Winners 9-6.
Ground ball. Shortstop. You can jump at the catcher immediately saying, first base, first base. Don't even look at me. That was the 1-1-1 you heard, so give Morris an RBI. It's now 9-2, and there's bases empty, 1 down. So Morris gets his 4th RBI of the season. By the way, for Camp, that was his 3rd RBI of the season. And this was Matthias's spot in the lineup, but they will hit from him here. So this is Ben Hershey that will come to the plate.
Entering the ball game and batting
So Hershey on the season. He is 3 for 11 with a run scored and 5 runs batted in.
And if Ben is going to get another RBI in this at bat, he's going to have to hit it out of here.
Theis was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground ball to second base. And that would hit him. You just need to get runners on if you're new, pal. That's exactly what they're working on here.
And that was one of those things I was talking about earlier. It looks like he actually turns toward the pitcher here. I guess, he was going to kind of start to swing, so he didn't really have a choice. But got to be careful there. You can get hit in the face. You can get hit in the chest. It hurts more when they hit you in the front.
Here's Cox. He has reached base both times. Doubled back in the second and walked in the fifth. We've seen different players loosen for Yorktown. See exactly how much rope Temple has at this point. And when hop to home plate, and again, you're not going unless you're absolutely sure, if you're Hershey. Given the score and spot in the game this is.
Chase Key with a nice block there. And again, Yorktown already with 2 double plays in the middle of the infield here, so they're looking for another one.
Ground ball, foul ball. Good job by the first base coach. Play off a couple hops. That was at the right speed to showcase the glove skills down the first base line.
Skills, yep.
Two and one the count. Off speed, falls in for a strike.
That's first base coach Landon McBride, longtime assistant, great player at John Marshall High School back in the day.
Swing and a miss. Same location, but 2 different speeds that Temple's able to dial up. There's 2 away.
Well, we say it all the time, hitting is all timing and pitching is disrupting that timing, whether you do it by changing speeds, changing locations, changing different pitches, different looks.
So here's Thorpe. Thorpe got his first base hit of the year his last time up. Struck out back in the second. Again, the curveball finds the top of the zone. 0-1 the count. A little more activity getting loose in the pen for New Pal if needed. They're already on pitch number 3. That pickoff play got away from the first baseman. Hershey hustles down to second. He'll stop right there. Thorpe gets the same base hit he got last time. It scores a run. Again, spots the outside corner. And it's 2-strike count.
Good pitch, good location.
Foul ball, stay alive swing. Looking ahead for Yorktown, 6, 7, and 8. Coming up in the top of the 7th inning.
All guys who not only got on last inning, but all got in.
This one smacked into left field. Base hit. Ball get away from the left fielder. That'll make that run score, and that'll also allow Thorpe to get on to second base. Give Thorpe the RBI, his first of the year. It's 3 here in the home half of the 6th. I think that might be it for Temple.
Again, just a really, really unfortunate ball hop there. You saw that ball hit the ground and literally just turned left on your screen if you're watching it, turned to the right of the left fielder.
And here comes the pitching change. Now the question is who might it be? It's going to require a bit of a glove change, looks like, for one of the players. We've seen both the third baseman and first baseman loosen at times for Yorktown. It looks like it's going to be Grimm that will get the nod here. So the third baseman will come into pitch. And Jacob Grimm.
Sean Gibson will slide over from shortstop to third, and Temple will slide back to short.
So Temple goes 5 2/3. He gives up 3 runs, all earned. Did not give up a run until the bottom of the 6th inning. Braden Morrow, the player that is getting ready to step to the plate for New Pal. Grimm this year, this is his 4th appearance. He has thrown 5 2/3 innings. His ERA is .494. 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 4. He has struck out 3. He has given up 6 base hits in those 5 2/3. Let me correct those numbers. 4 earned runs. He has walked 6 and struck out 7. And opposing batters are batting .300 against Grimm on the season. His job is to get the final 4 outs of this one. And there will instantaneously be more action, if needed, in the bullpen for Yorktown. And Morrow, who is at the plate, hit by a pitch and struck out in his 2 previous plate appearances.
And Greg, according to the rules, if Grimm can get those 4 outs in less than 35 pitches, he's available to throw tomorrow.
First pitch swinging, popped up, shortstop's there, and can't make it more effective than that. A 1-pitch appearance for Grimm in the home half of the 6th. New Pal reels 3 back. They've got 3 outs to get 6 more. Through 6 innings here in Southern Hancock County, Dragons trailed by 6 on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9 Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
Now you see the line score in progress down the outfield. 9-3 is the score in favor of Yorktown. 4th pitcher of the game about to be used by Coach Lyons and New Pal. So we saw Hershey come in and proceed to get hit and score a run, and now Hershey will come on to pitch. And this will be his first pitching appearance of the season. And this is just game number 5 for the Dragons. Swept Shelbyville in league play, lost to Batesville, then beat Perry Meridian in a game yesterday by a score of 6-3. And Hershey will face Thurman, Case, and Gibson.
Number 30.
Trio of players due up.
Now catching for the Dragons.
Well, it looks like for
5.
Yorktown, they may get another bat in the lineup to give a young man a chance to hit. Potentially in Gibson's spot, we'll see. So Thurman was the only player who did not come to the plate last inning for Yorktown. He has struck out twice, he has singled once, and he has driven home a run. Hershey, a junior, will work from the stretch. Thurman, first pitch fastball, sends it to deep left center field. Center fielder has ample territory and a step or two in front of the warning track. I would guesstimate that's about a 370-foot out that Thurman just hit.
Yeah, there's actually no dimensions. Normally you'll see them on the left and right field foul poles. You might see them in the power alleys, and certainly you see one in center, but none here today, and I don't really know the dimensions here.
So Case. So we've been informed that Case thought that hit him, and umpire says, no, it didn't. Come back.
I don't know about you, but when I played, I wanted to hit. I'd be like, no, it didn't hit me.
Right.
It'd be like, your nose is bleeding. It hit you in the face. No, it missed me.
Case was hit by a pitch last time and would come around to score. And when Ricochet is back off the backstop. Fresh baseball for Hershey. And the count 2-0.
He just kind of spiked that one.
Case is the only Yorktown starter that does not have a hit in today's game. Three 3-0 the count. Batters 7, 8, 9 all would reach and score last time up. Taken all the way. That's poured in for a strike. Case might be getting a take sign here, 3-1 too.
I think Hershey kind of overthrew those first 2 or 3, and then that time he looked a lot more smooth to the plate. Just pitch.
Exactly what it did. Case was swinging away and belts that one into the ground, and now it's full. I did see a young man kind of loosening, getting his swing ready, but it is Gibson that'll be asked to come up to hit next for Yorktown. Top of the lineup will roll through in the bottom of the 7th for the Dragons. Case, slow roller. Hershey's got it, tosses over to first, no problem, 2 down. So here comes Gibson. Gibson has reached all 3 times. He's been hit by a pitch, he's walked, he's singled, and he has a run scored and a stolen base.
He's a young man trying to move up in the lineup. If you don't like batting 8th or 9th, get some hits, get on base, score some runs.
Well, it is notable that he's hitting .325 and he's batting 8th.
Yeah.
And the batters 5 through 9 around him are 200 or under. But also could be just a kind of a way to have somebody that kind of restart your lineup for you in the bottom half.
Yeah, a lot of coaches will use the 9 hole. You've heard about, as kind of a second leadoff man to get things started. But perhaps Coach Farquhar has decided that he can do that with 8 and 9.
And that misses. 2-0 the count.
It's hard to argue. I mean, they got 9 runs.
Three and 0. There's a pinch hitter on deck in Johnson's spot. If it gets to him, that's Peyton Fields that is getting ready. And it'll get to him on a 4-pitch walk.
Pitch hitting for the Tigers, number 14, Peyton Fields.
So Johnson had a bunt base hit last time in this position. 1 for 3 with a run scored. Fields a senior, listed as a pitcher and third baseman. Fields this year 2 for 7 with a run scored. Fields, from a pitching standpoint, usually is where he plays. He's 1-1 with a couple of appearances, an ERA just above 2. So there's a good chance that Newpal might see him tomorrow on the mound.
That's exactly when you read those numbers, I thought, I wonder if he doesn't start tomorrow.
And the pitching numbers are pretty impressive. Their team ERA coming in is 3. And they've given up three runs through 6 innings. Hershey misses that one.
Just overthrowing it a little bit. I'm sure Coach Lyons would like to see him slow the whole thing down a little bit.
Missed the outside corner. Yet to offer a strike to the pinch hitter in Fields. Temple, the starting pitcher, but now infielder, awaits on deck. Toss back, and Gibson wasn't straying too far from the bag. And that one, I think, grazed him. Yep. And ball four regardless, but that was going to sound call. You heard the contact made with the ear flap. Fields all smiles about it. So here comes Temple. And just grazed him. You got to see that reaction. That was close.
That was the look that he had on his face. He was looking at his teammates like, you guys wouldn't believe how close that was.
Temple swings at that one. Hershey's off-speed pitch found enough of the zone to get Temple to chase. Temple a run scored in a single tonight. Looks clearly in line to get the win on the mound. That one misses. 1-1 the count.
At-bats being what they are, very precious. I'm sure he's going to try to make this at-bat as good as he can, regardless of score.
And that misses high and in tight, 2-1.
She really struggling to find a play here.
Temple smacks this one. Left fielder, or center fielder rather, drifting back, and the way the inning started is the way it finishes, with the ball in the glove of the center fielder. So Yorktown strands a couple, and at the bottom of the seventh we go. New Pal's got 3 outs to score 6 to keep this game going, or score 7 to claim a dramatic come-from-behind victory. Morick, no problem, drifting over and making that play. Get a reminder, our cameras are back here on Friday night for high school softball. When New Pal takes on Carmel. You and I are here for that game a couple of years ago that saw Carmel give Dragons pretty good battle. Obviously, Carmel, the largest school in the state. They've had some success in softball, but frankly, New Pal has been the more successful program on a regular basis.
Yeah, Coach Ed Markham and his staff do a fantastic job with the ladies, and I'm sure Coach Markham would tell you, too. He's had some awfully talented players down through the years as well, sending players basically
just
all over
a few,
all over the country, including the SEC and just about all points in between. I know that I'm a better coach when I have better players, and Coach Markham will tell you that. He's been very blessed, and those kids work really, really hard and take it very seriously.
So Grimm is ready. He threw one pitch to end the sixth. We have a pinch hitter coming in here. This is Morick's spot in the lineup. It's Nick Deering that will be coming up here for the Tigers, or for the Dragons, I should say. Deering on the season, 4 plate appearances, 0 for 3, does have a run scored. Deering, a junior. Morick was 0 for 3 at the plate. The Neal spot in the lineup is due up next. Bell tie for a strike. Nunnally will be due to bat third. He's been by far the most productive Dragon to the plate today, with a single and a double and a run scored.
Yeah, and has hit the ball hard all 3 times. I mean, he definitely sees it well and squares it up.
A little bit low. And that hit him. So leadoff man aboard. Last time a leadoff man would reach and score for the Dragons.
See the replay there. Not a lot he could do with that, except just absorb it and hustle down to first.
Neal, one of two freshmen on the varsity roster for New Pal. Morris is the other, so we've seen both of them today. And Neal was not thinking that ball was going to hit the inside corner. And the count is 0-1. Trying to go back to the outside corner, did Grimm, and couldn't locate it. 1-1 the count, and then we had a ball get loose from the bullpen.
Must have been really uncorked because it reached the plate.
Thankfully, that did not affect a ball in play or the count. That is Limbrock that is loosening. He's had a couple of appearances in relief this season, so he's the in case needed at this point for Yorktown. Neal was trying to hit that one to Greenfield and missed. 1-2.
See whether or not Grimm comes with like an off-speed pitch, a changeup of some sort.
Tried to dot the outside corner, couldn't find it. Count of 2-2.
Now, even accompanied the grunt there.
Fouled straight back. Neal, a ground ball to second base, his lone plate appearance of this game. Curve ball fouled back. First baseman gives chase, but that'll hit off the netting down the first baseline. And Nunley awaits on deck. Off the end of the bat, into right field for a base hit. They'll stop the runner at second. But first two runners are aboard. And here's Nunley, who has singled and doubled today.
And again, Greg has just absolutely tattooed the ball when he's hit it. Nice job of hitting there, a little breaking ball in the outer half. Didn't try to pull it, take it the other way. Nice job by the freshman.
Outfielders are giving the signal, back up. From the assistant coach just telling all of his guys, back up. Nunley came in hitting over 500. He is 2 for 3 today with a run scored.
Very tight, compact swing and just uses his lower body well, and he does drive the ball when he hits it.
Ground ball. 6-4. Nunley flying on the line. Won't even try it. Wise, good decision by the second baseman. Just take the out, one down. That ball kind of gobbled up the shortstop's hands a little bit. Made it tougher to turn that, but with Nunley's speed, that would have been difficult.
Yeah, you're going to see him just bobble it just a little bit. Right there, kind of got away from him. Yeah, there's no chance.
And that's Temple, now at shortstop, who was the starting pitcher today.
Cam Johnson at second base, again, making the wise choice. Let's just don't throw it around. Let's just get outs and get out of here.
Here's Camp, who tripled opposite field last time up. He's 1 for 3. That RBI, his third of the season. Good job by Nunley. That ball got away from the catcher immediately. Scampers to second, takes away the play at second base. And the infielder's on a ground ball. Ball's going to first. Morris awaits on deck for New Pal. That's low. 2-0. That's in for a strike. Pitcher's pitch. Little that Camp could do about that, so he'll try again momentarily. Swing and a miss. Grimm doing a good job of going inside, outside.
Yeah, he really is. He's working both sides of
Yep.
the plate. And, again, just keeping hitters off balance. I mean, they don't know. Is it going to go in? Is it going to go out, up, down? Is it going to be a breaking ball?
Great job to smother that one by the catcher. That's Key.
Of course, Key called the pitch, and so he kind of knew there was a shot. It might end up in the dirt. And he very alertly pounces on it.
Sprays this one foul. We'll do it again with 2 strikes. Again, popped it foul, but out of play.
I'll give Jackson Camp credit. Again, I talked about earlier, at-bats are very precious. You're lucky if you get 4 a game. Make them count, regardless of score, man.
And hopped to home plate, ball 4. So the bases are loaded. And Morris just trying to keep the wheel going here.
Batting number 16, Jacob Morris.
Coach Farquhar started walking towards the mound and kind of stopped. There's been some bullpen activity. Those kids are now heading back into the dugout as well. Grimm, fastball, missed it. Morris, a ground ball to shortstop, that scored a run last time up. Walked and singled before that. So he's had 3 productive at-bats, has the freshman. As soon as I say that, he chased a ball in his eyes.
Yeah. You know, it's not the worst spot in the world to be if you're Coach Farquhar. I mean, you're up 9-3, but still, though, you just want to get out of here, right? And you're like, do I go out and get the kid? Do I bring in somebody else?
Curveball lifted, left field. Left fielder coming in, makes the catch. Runner will not tag, and probably good thing he didn't, because that was a throw from left field. That's Fultz, and there might be a little knowledge of his arm, because thinking, okay, it's 9. You're going to tag up here, right? Because the throw's going to go to third, right? Take a look at this. That wasn't exactly on line, but even though it was up the line, that's probably a good thing that the runner in Deering didn't go. That's probably the end of the game if he's going on that play.
I did a nice job of staying behind the baseball. Some of it was just where the ball was hit. He was able to come in and catch it on the run, had all his momentum heading toward home plate.
So here's Hershey. Through the 7th inning on the mound. Entered the last inning in Matthias' spot and was hit by a pitch and scored. Outside corner fastball.
Nice location strike. Catcher set right there. Pitcher hits the glove. Pretty easy call.
Tried to hit it and just missed it by a couple inches. But that may be a ball or 2 wider than the previous location.
Yeah, Key did a nice job of trying to yank it in, but the umpire not falling for it.
And this one lifted foul, and new pal down to a final strike. And these 2 teams will do it again tomorrow. Hershey spoils that one. Hershey asks for time and gets it. And Hershey, a junior. Lifts this one. Left field. Center fielder going back. That one's going to go all the way to the wall. That is going to clear the bases. Hershey has a double, and it's now 9-6.
How about that, Greg? I tell you what, never say, die, never die easy, as Walter Payton's autobiography was titled. These Dragon hitters just keep battling, and that ball is hit just squared up and deep. And it's kind of tough from the press box because it's a little bit dark out there. There's no light stanchion in center field, so couldn't really tell where it was going to land, and that will bring Coach Farquhar out.
So the tying run is now on deck for New Pal. This is Cox's spot in the lineup. And is due up, and he had an earlier double. I'm going to let Grimm at least get one more batter here. Again, Limbrock was loosening, and Limbrock's on a couple of relief appearances for Yorktown so far this year as well. But 3 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th, and if nothing else for New Pal, then you're going to see this same team tomorrow. Kind of gives you a little momentum going into that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you're certainly, even if it ends with too little too late, I mean, these last 2 innings have been a little bit more of what Coach Lyons has been wanting to see.
Fouled straight back.
Cox had a healthy rip at that. Just missed it, and if nothing else, it probably stays in the yard, but it scores a run.
Strike 2. And one more time, New Pal down to a final strike. Able to hold off. Grimm thought he hit the corner. Umpire said no. And Cox did not offer. He just barely lifted that off his shoulder. Big sweeping curveball that, in great camera, you see the catcher tried to pull that back just a little bit inside.
It was in, and he almost torqued himself there.
No doubt about that. Cox waves that one as it go by, and this one is over. Took a minute to finish, but Yorktown hangs on to get the conference win 9-6. Jim, your final thoughts?
Well, I thought that Cole Temple was really sharp on the mound and for Yorktown, and New Pal again came on late, but too little too late. Should be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night.
New Pal falls to 3-2. They are now 2-1 in HHC play. Yorktown snaps a 2-game skid. They are 5-2. They are 4-1 in league action. For Jim Leisure and our entire 9-Star crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from New Pal with the Tigers. Head south and get a victory. 9-6 the final score. You've been watching on 9-Star and the ISC Sports Network.